Hello. So I have a reading. It is a love reading. Let me actually show you. This is how it fell out. And this is the back of the deck here. And it's interesting because on my drive home last night, I kept hearing the words revival. Like revival. Revive. Something wants to revive. Someone wants to revive something. Here, I'm getting, since we do have the two of, wow, death. Right under that. Page of Pentacles and the Page of Wands, yeah. And then the Ten of Pentacles. It's my happily ever after card in this deck. Ooh. Okay, so this is actually giving like you just recently walked away from a situation. I'm hearing specifically you called quits. Like this isn't someone that walked away from you and da-da-da-da-da. Like maybe at some point that had happened. But where we're at right now, it is cold, it is dead because of you. And this is giving me the feeling that somebody actually juggled their own happily ever after. 111. So this is someone that could have juggled you. But what I am getting is that you walked away because this was draining you. 1, 2, 3. You walked away because this was draining you, and there were secrets that were being held back from you here. So if that resonates, I'm gonna pull some cards off camera and we'll talk about it. So this is exactly how it landed, which is crazy because 1, 2, 3, I got that earlier. So the Six of Cups fell out on its own, the Star fell out on its own, and then the King of Wands landed on top of it, flipped the other way, and then the King of Pentacles with the Six of Pentacles came out, and the World landed on top of that. Then we have the Four of Wands, which is the Four of Air in this deck. So what Spirit wants to say about this is if you really felt like this was a soulmate of some kind, you were right. This is actually, like I said, this is somebody that juggled their way out of a happily ever after. The two of you very much connected deeply. Your inner children connected very deeply. This was actually a lesson for you to get up and respect yourself and not to settle. Because again, this was someone that you had to walk away from because they were draining you of your light. They were keeping you stagnant, or you were kind of choosing to stay stagnant with this person, whatever fits. And there were a lot of lies and illusions that were involved in this, deceptions. So yeah, this was kind of about you being able to trust your intuition here and making movements on what you know to be true. This was about getting your mental in check and not letting your emotions fully rule you, but also not letting like your mindset completely control you either. It was about a healthy balance of both. But yeah, this was also about like learning to make decisions, right? So you feeling drained, you feeling disconnected, you feeling like you're not being respected, you feeling like there are things being kept behind the scenes, things being hidden. Like if that's not what you're looking for in a relationship, it's about kind of putting your head on straight and making the right choice, choosing yourself. And for the collective that I'm reading here, 333, you did choose yourself. You are an empowered person. This wasn't, okay, well, let me say this wasn't hard for you. Choosing yourself isn't hard. It's just not the most fun thing, I think is the best way to put that. I will say that you ended a karmic situation in this. There was a cycle here where you were very used to putting other people above you, or letting your emotions mislead you here. But as that card has just turned on, you have been turned on. You turned on your own power. You locked in and connected more with yourself. You chose what was best for you. You didn't really like feel guilty about letting this go or letting this person face the consequences of where they're at all. Because again, your head is on straight. Like, you know, this isn't the pity party of, man, like, you know, it's so sucky that maybe this was a generational curse, a pattern that they're repeating, and it sucks. You know, you were like, oh no, they're choosing to do this. Whether or not this is something that comes from their childhood, you know, you stopped enabling. You started understanding from a point that actually protects you instead of tries to connect you with everything. Because you're not meant to connect to everything. You're meant to connect to the things that are aligned for you. And it did feel like at one point this was very, very aligned. But through, again, choice and someone not learning, not canceling out patterns and closing out cycles, they mishandled this, they fumbled this. Like, there is no question to that. But yeah, so what Spirit is also wanting to say about this is this person has actually learned the lesson that they were supposed to learn with you, that they were supposed to grow with you. They learned it without you, because the absence of you is pretty heavy. I'm also seeing this person is actually wanting to do reciprocal relations at this point, whereas maybe before they weren't so open. I just saw 543. They weren't so open to that. They weren't so open to that kind of change. They weren't open to the responsibilities and the requirements a real relationship would have required of them. They were kind of just almost wanting to do their own thing, or just do things their own way, which, newsflash, if you want a serious relationship, that doesn't really work. Like, yes, you should have your own life and be independent, and make sure that independence that you have is not sacrificed just to be with somebody. But it's like that wasn't even really what was happening here. There was no real sacrifice for you two to be together. The sacrifice was, oh, stop following your old ways. Stop being toxic. Stop repeating cycles. Start being authentic. That is the kind of change that you were asking, and that was too much. That was too much. But it's almost like because you here are kind of almost depicted by, that's fucking insane. So the Four of Wands, you're here in your own protective element. You're protecting your mind, you're protecting your body, you're protecting your soul right now, because you need to heal. You need to recuperate. I feel like this situation was definitely very heavy for you to have to walk away the way you did, and for you to have to deal with the things that you did, the draining, the lies, the manipulation, the games. That was taxing. That was exhausting. Four of Cups, and then the Tower, and the Ten of Swords, and the Knight of Swords, and the Seven of Wands. Yeah, hold up. Yeah, it's like Spirit is actually shielding you from this person, because they're going through a very karmic moment right now. Very, very karmic. Because they were guarded, impulsive, immature, selfish. Spirit is not having that. They're like, oh, no. No, you want to disrespect the future that you two were building together? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You're gonna hate that though. You're gonna hate that. You're not gonna like that at all. But yeah, it's like this person is learning their lesson. They're facing their karma. The truth that they were avoiding is now inescapable. Yeah, and I'm like getting this feeling that you're almost kind of just like moving on a bit here. You're moving forward, because there's literally nothing more for you to do here. Like, I don't know what this person did, but it almost feels like that's why their karma is so heavy. Like, it just feels like you're not the most entertained by this situation anymore. Yes, you felt the soul connection. Yes, they mean something to you. Yes, there's still emotions here for you. Yes, like there was this huge hope that you two would figure things out or come together or be this end all be all kind of situation. But it's like you're almost accepting that it's okay if it's not, you know, because it wasn't on me. You know, I tried my best. I gave it my all. And that's all I can really do, you know, and now the rest is on them. But they're definitely thinking about this. They're definitely thinking about you. They're definitely thinking about the entire situation, especially within the karma that they're facing right now. They know that it's because of you, and they know that it's because of the way they handled things. They know it's because this is a pattern they've been repeating, and Spirit's been asking them to stop, and then they play it in the wrong person's face because they didn't stop. Not to say other people deserved it before, because they didn't. It's just like usually this coping mechanism comes from being around very like unhealthy, toxic people. And then bam, here's like an actual healthy relation that they can work and build around, and instead they just wanted to do the same thing they were always doing. It's not even, yeah. It's like you play with the wrong one on the right day. You're gonna fuck around and find out, you know what I'm saying? And that's just where they're at right now. And you're guarded. You're not even given this attention. They can't even reach you. You're protected right now, and that's scary to them because they're not used to that. They're used to you being there. And maybe that's what they need.